Hey everyone, wanted to make a quick video on my dad's new whip, the 2022 BMW iX. So as you guys know, we used to have the 45e, the hybrid. So that was a good stepping stone for my dad to kind of try like a little bit of the EV world. But once he was on that, he realized electric is the way to go, and I'm happy that I kind of convinced him on that. But as you can see, this is the spec. We've waited almost a year for this. But honestly, this is well worth the wait. So my dad had originally ordered the blue with the white interior, but then like he wanted to get the M Sport package, and with the M Sport package, like all the black accents, the black just looks way more meaner. So pretty much is a 2022. This is before all the changes that were done to the configurator. So like he got like a pretty good deal on it. In terms of like options, and he pretty much got all the options that were like, being taken away due to COVID, like the laser lights, the wireless charging, and all that stuff. So I guess just a quick walk around. We went with, I guess these are 20 or 21s. Yeah, these are 21s. So we chose the all-season tires so that we can drive them year round. They're pretty good. Black outside. We did everything black here. I kind of think the gold looks good, but with the theme that my dad wanted to do is like all blacked out, I think this looks really nice. And honestly, like usually in most cars, like BMW's M Sport package is a necessity, but I feel like if you're gonna black it out, you can honestly save some money and get like the regular one. I feel like the M Sport's really only good for like an actual gas car, because you can get like different suspension and wheels, and then also you can get like different body kits, but this is not that much different. But the thing is, like, I feel like the back and the front makes a big difference, the M Sport styling. In terms of the outside, doesn't have much else. What I do plan on doing today is actually PPFing this area, because I'm already seeing a lot of swirl marks, and I'm gonna be blacking out the reflectors. And then I'm also going to be doing some PPF on the front end, the lights as well. That'll just, kind of help protect it a little bit. I do want to add roof racks, but the thing is, it's going to reduce the range, so I don't want to do it. In terms of charging, we got the Rivian charger here. It's just at my place, but I think at my dad's place, he just has a regular level 2 line, but he didn't get a charger because honestly, the charger that comes with this car is a 9.6 kilowatt charger, so that's pretty good. What I noticed is like in the level 2 that I have, the 12 kilowatts, you can get like pretty much a charge done in like 8 hours. But in his one, it takes about like 10 hours. So honestly, it's not that bad of a difference. And then you're saving a bit of that power, right? So 10 hours overnight is pretty good. It's like pretty much like the cheap coverage timings for like most electric companies. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I would highly recommend, if anyone's getting this, like, don't use a level 1 line, try to get a level 2 line for sure. This door handle, I honestly I like it. The only thing I'm worried about is the winter, so we'll see how that is. But I think, because you're gonna have to clear this up, and I can see this stuff getting tight there. But honestly, this thing has so many features. Me and my dad have owned many BMWs. The one thing I will say is this is like very overwhelming. Usually like any iDrive system, whether it's new or old, like it only takes me like 5 minutes to get used to. This, I feel like it's like all over the place. But honestly, like from an owner's review, what I can say is like these carbon fiber reinforced plastics, it looks pretty cool. I do want to add some PPF here, because I feel like, in the winter where you have your boots or whatever, it's gonna scuff up, and I already know replacing this is not going to be cheap. So if you ever run an accident or something happens, be careful. The other thing is, this material, I think it's good. It looks good. The only problem I see is like in winter or when it's raining, I do want to see how that kind of holds up. But other than that, man, like we got the glass crystal shift package. So the crystals here, as well on here and here. I would highly recommend getting that package. That just makes interior so much better. The other thing we got was the HEA package, the heating elements something package. So that is honestly like really cool to have in an electric car. I would say that's a must in every electric car, because basically what it does is, instead of spending more kilowatt or energy heating the cabin through like your HVAC units, you're heating the actual door itself. So that means you'll need less kilowatts of energy used to basically heat up the cabin, right? You'll put it on low versus like a higher climate temperature. So that honestly makes a huge difference, because whether we're in the cold, this season where it's summer or it's hot, if the cabin is warm, you're gonna use your HVAC less, which means you'll get more range. So that's honestly a really good breakthrough from BMW, and I respect them for that. In terms of the interior, as you can see right now, so we're at 88%, 281 miles. My dad actually just drove all the way from Canada to here in Illinois, which is about a 10-hour drive, about 700 miles or so. And honestly, like he was saying, like he had the best experience. Like he had no issues with charging. The only thing that he did say was kind of strange was some areas in Canada and the US, like when he had to enter the chargers, they didn't show up. So he just put the address. So obviously that's not the best way to do it, because if you can put the charger and as a charging destination, it'll help your car warm up to that temperature, and it'll let the car know, okay, I'm going to a charger, I need to warm up, and so on. But other than that, man, honestly, like all these features in the cars are so good. There are like so many features. Like it took me a while to get used to, like even like adjusting all this the content, the layout, and heads-up display. I feel like honestly the layout, they could have done much more cooler stuff. They only really have these like three, which is like one in the middle, one that's wide, and one that's all the way to the left. I feel like they could have done something a bit more cooler. The steering wheel did take some time to get used to, but honestly, like for this type of driving, this is like, I would say like a very like luxurious like GT car. It's like a cruiser. For that, it's very good. I'd be interested to see like how this feels like on the track, because right now it just feels like I'm driving like a plane. That's like the whole theme I'm getting with this car. It's like, even if you look at the roof right now, you can see if I press this button here, it'll change the clear, and everything just has that like airplane cockpit feeling, right? It's very luxurious. One cool thing that I did notice about the heads-up display is if you keep it in the sport display option, it actually turns with the wheels, and it's 3D, which like was trippy at first, because I was like driving and all I'm seeing is like this is turning. So that was really cool that BMW did that. Like big props to you guys. All this stuff here is very good. I do see that they put like some cheap plastics here, but other than that, like it's very well put together. This wood, I was kind of worried of how it feels and how it'll hold up in the heat, but it's very nice. The wireless car charger is really good. The cup holders here are good, and I like how they had the storage here. The only thing I would recommend is like kind of like Meridian, is if they had some type of like thing to kind of hold it, that way stuff just doesn't fly around. But I really like how, like, even as a passenger, if you can keep your hand here, it's very like, it's a very ergonomic design. The other thing I don't like really much is like this design here. It's kind of futuristic, but then it just looks very like cheap, I would say. What else can I think? You got the frameless mirrors here. You got the standard like M Sport, the M headliners. This, my dad was complaining. I didn't really find it a problem, but he was saying that this is kind of hitting his head. So I guess like he's a bit shorter than me. So if that's something, you kind of have a difficulty with, just kind of adjust your seats. One thing I did notice is the seat adjustment. So you can adjust like your forward, back, up, down, and recline here. But then if you want to do your lumbar, you have to go to home, then you got to go to the apps, and then you got to go to like seat comfort, and then you got to adjust it. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of a lot of work just to adjust your lumbar, but honestly, once you set that, you kind of forget about it. Another cool thing that we actually didn't even realize is it has seat massage. So it's like a very like light massage. I don't think it has like heated or cooled massage, but it has like a pretty good massage, adjustability and all that stuff. We did get, let's go look at some of the options here. So some of the options that we got here is, the live vehicle. Man, this is so cool. You get not this, sorry. What I meant is like the cameras, but you can see that from the app. Like you can see like the whole 3D view. I'll put a clip here where you can see like 3D view of the whole car. The interior camera is a really good option as well. I would highly recommend that, and also the drive recorder option. Those I would say is like essential. So you can see me here. You can see me. You can see everyone in the car, and the best part is like the app. You can control all this from the app. You can like see a whole 3D view of the whole car. But yeah, and then even the my modes. So this is something that I thought was honestly a gimmick, but it's like it is a gimmick, but it just makes the driving experience so cool. So relax is like very like, I'll make a whole driving review video, but relax is like very like subtle, a bit like nice like piano sound. Expressive is literally like a movie theater. It feels like you're like a Batman tumbler. Efficient is like whatever. Sport is pretty cool too. In sport, the steering wheel, the pedals, everything's stiff up, just like the classic BMW. I'll say this for my driving review, but pretty much like the acceleration in this car is pretty good. The only thing is right off the bat, it has a bit of a delay, which I don't really like, because that's the whole point of an electric car. You want it to kind of, be aggressive, especially in sport mode at least, right? And let's see, the back seats. Yeah, so this, I feel like for this price point is a bit cheaper, but I like how they, kind of organize the space here. They put the 2 USB-Cs here, the iPad dongle. They kind of push this forward, so you have like tons of room and space. And then in terms of like these leather seats, these are just like the regular leather seats. It's not like the diamond stitch quilted one. Honestly, those look good in that like reddish orange color, but I wouldn't say it's worth it. In terms of the back hatch, sorry about that, but it's pretty cool how they incorporated that carbon fiber plastic here. And I think from like an engineering point, what I really like is like the fact that like this is the hatch, and then this is just like a plastic component. So that makes it like, if you ever get in an accident, or if you got a scratch, you hit your garage or something, it's very easy and cheap to replace this. And this is your hatch. And most people, like, I don't know, I guess it's because I work in automotive, but you'll see that usually you have like your outer and inner panel, and then you put like a sealer around here for like rust protection. What they did is they put that sealer here, which is honestly so cool, because you won't be able to see like any of the defects of like, the bubbles coming up on the sealer or anything like that. Everything is like hidden away, which is really cool to see. But all in all, I would say like for this price point, this car is, I don't think there's anything that can beat that. The only thing I wish they did have was like a 7-seater option, because that's the only thing that BMW doesn't really have.